tests being performed are basic tests expected from a knife and are performed in a controlled environment. Performance, opinions, and use may vary. Remember safety when dealing with knives. Hey guys, welcome back. So we're going to be doing something that really different from my channel. It's different, but then again it's not. Hey. So doing some knife reviews. There's going to be two videos that are going to be very, very similar back to back, and it'll be but they're two separate videos. So if you're watching two of them and they look the same, that's why. So I need to get that done and out of the way now. So this little bit's probably going to be on both videos. So we are going to be processing an old deer here that I just shot earlier today, and this guy is an old 13 pointer. He's got a couple of little hooks sticking off there. He's got a extra one here compared to the other side, and he's got a little hook over there as well, little pointer. So I'm going to be running back and forth between the two. So this video is going to be about the Western Titanium Switch. Now it has its own little package here, and as you saw, there's multiple knives here. Well, 3 knives and 1 saw with only 1 handle. So the way that this works is that you simply the blade slides in there, and you push the button here. This is a button right here on the side. And it comes with the saw, a skinner, another type of skinner here, kind of looks more like an axe, but nonetheless, with a little gut hook, and another, I'm guessing this would be like a field knife. And it has another gut hook as well. I'm not going to use these gut hooks for this deer because the pitch is going to have the blade, it's just way too steep of an angle on both of these. It's going to be very, very awkward. So I'm going to, whenever you see me start using this set here, this will already be, the hide will already be cut, and I'll start skinning it. So I'm going to go ahead and jump onto it. Alright, so this is the first opportunity to run with the saw, and like I was saying earlier, push the button, slide it in like that, and it's held in. So I'm going to be cutting off the tail here. Okay, so this blade, these teeth on here are very similar to your silky saws. It's the same teeth pattern.
What?
If you're familiar with that. At least a lot of these newer blades, newer saws are running with that. So I'll end up using this to cut the head off and the rear hind quarters. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and run with this bellied one, and this one I'm presuming is primarily for skinning. Go ahead and use it. I want to go ahead and use the other 3 that came with it, and use those for a little bit of skinning as well, just to see how those work out. Because one of them is a skinner type of blade, so very similar to the Schrade Golden Spike. So it's
hard to see.
Here, it's hard to see. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Here. So might as well go ahead and try them. So this seems to be, I think this would be better for the skinning process because you have the more curved edge, and it's more natural flowing for that purpose. I know I got a whole bunch of meat left on there, but it is what it is. It also allows for a little bit anyways for up close, but I think for that purpose, the actual skinner will do better than what that will do. So I think for the finer tuning, for the closer areas like around the hips, and where you're not going to be doing a whole lot around the legs, I think this would work a lot better. And no, this is not factory edge on any of these. I've used these several times on hogs that we've butchered up in the past, so they've been sharpened previously. So here we get to a point, I'll go ahead and change out to that other one. Here, all right. So
the edge off for you.
Okay, and this is
not
the
edge, but the bottom.
Yeah, this is the other one that it came with. This is kind of, I think, a mixture of those other two. It allows for the ease of the curve with the curve for the skinning, and you can kind of get up close with the tip. Also has a bottle opener.
Yeah, have a beer while you're skinning.
I'm sure a lot of people do. So yeah, so far, I mean, with this type of work with these, it does pretty. And the edges, of course, with this type of work will stay good for the most part. And you're not going to have to sharpen them too terribly much, or at least too terribly often. But we're going to find out tomorrow with this knife and the Skinner about how they're going to work with actually physically processing the meat. Okay, so I got the Skinner one of the switch here, and I'm going to go ahead and use it, go ahead and process the next piece of this, and then I'm going to switch over to this guy and see how it does. I'll show you guys how it does, how it works, and probably do a little bit of processing as well of it. That's supposed to be a bad night, is it?
We're supposed to get some that's not tomorrow.
Really?
They said, even supposed to tell you it's supposed to leave when you get.
Well, that's where most part of the steak. Yeah, that's what they showed me. That's what I showed them.
Not what I heard on. But, yeah, this way.
Okay, so that piece, yeah, we just wraps here. Huh?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and, Yeah, that'll be fine. I'm gonna go ahead and switch over to this, see how it does. Let me show you how it does. This is awfully bulky for this purpose, I will admit. But I'd much prefer that Skinner type for this, simply because it's got a lot finer. It's got a lot finer tip. I can control it a little bit better and have more precise cuts. Because it just feels really awkward trying to work out here at the tip like this to run it in. What?
I can't get this part. Like,
Oh, and by the way, she's working with the Schrade Golden Spike, if you were curious. Oh, there you go. And this. Okay, well, leave it then. Nothing. Nope, I don't want to spend too much time on this, but I'm gonna. It's gonna jerky sausage. What? Oh yeah, sausage is still gonna round up. Okay, yeah, see, this one's just way too awkward for this. So that's the way that it is when I'm reworking. So well, here after a bit we'll do some. I'll go ahead and get the back straps out here and process those, dice them up, and go from there. All right, so this is the bigger one of the set, and just going to go ahead and cut a few slices of this off. Oh, he's fine. You see my videos with him?
Can I show you how I act like a cheat gum?
Holy crap, bud. If I'm measuring that right, you have 90.8 inches on just the left side.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, man.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and switch it out. And go ahead and try this one out.
Yeah, just put your deer on your
Comes
Facebook.
out.
Oh no, yeah, it is. It
You
will
already
be.
got it on there?
Yeah, it's on there.
Huh?
Can I show you how I act like a chicken?
How you what?
Act
Now
like
these-
a chicken.
Like a what?
Chicken.
These ones I have.
A-E-G-O?
I have ran the steel on them several times.
How
So-
you act like a chicken.
Chicken.
Okay.
It is. This is a lot softer metal. I don't know what's up with this, but I am just for the sake of it. I'm gonna go ahead and try this bellied one. Don't know how well it will work for this, but let's try it. It's not really designed for this. It's more for a Skinner, but yeah, that's a no-go.
Hey, go chicken.
I mean, you can work, but
Go chicken.
it is a pain. Alright, so that's that. That's the back strap mirror. We're actually going to go ahead and cook some of this up tonight for supper. So, when next probably end up doing some quarters up with trying this out with this set. Alright, this is the Skinner one of the switch. I'm going to go ahead and cut some more pieces of this out. And I'll go ahead and get this piece cut, show you guys how cut this piece. I should say show you how, but go ahead and cut this chunk out, and I'm going to go ahead and change it over again. Alright, so there's that little piece there. Do something. I'm gonna clean this up real quick. I'm gonna start it back up. Alright, so actual processing, we'll go ahead and do some more. These would be small steaks or probably for stews, actually. It's probably what I end up using it for. And it seems to be a little rough cutting through. And it seems to be doing all right. And like I said, it's a little Western Skinner. All right, so these are stew steak pieces. All right, we're gonna go ahead and switch this out to this and see what happens here. I know this is just awfully cumbersome, but I'm trying to find a spot for this. Trying to figure out exactly where this might fall into place. The previous animals that we've butchered up while I was using this set, even then I couldn't figure out exactly where this thing lands at. It landed. What? I don't even know where I want to, which piece I want to go to next. I'll take it right in here. I'll work on this piece. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this piece. I'm gonna cut this piece out and then process it. Show you guys that a little bit. That's two steak pieces.
We got one at steak right now, so I want to
Okay. All right. That piece cut out. This might do all right for this type of work, but this might help you keep from having to change out. Maybe, I don't know. Well, yeah, these pieces. I'm so ready to be done. This is the last quarter. All right, so this will get lined up right now. Wrong side.
That's a good steak.
Yeah, I've done half probably. Get a couple steaks out of that. Check out a bigger piece from this. And why not steak? Alright, so there's that. I should have got a bigger piece for this one, but it seems, I think with this, it'd be better for your actual slicing because it actually got a little bit of a belly, I just noticed. So actually, like, bring it through the pieces to go ahead and cut up for steaks and other type of stuff like that. It'd be better. It is very similar, sort of, to the Skinner.
You only got 3 out of that one.
Yeah, I think so. It is similar. The curves are pretty close. So, I guess just another option. So, I'm gonna finish getting this cut up and go from there. Alright, so overall performance for this Western switch, personally, it's probably not going to be making my butchering set, and because of how often I have to sharpen these up because of how quick they dull. I hate having to stop every 20 minutes or so and having to sharpen these up, and it's not going to be my go-to. It's okay in a pinch, and if you're not doing this very often, but like this here, the sole, it wasn't quite long enough to perform some of the work, like splitting the rear quarters. It doesn't have enough length in it to be able to reach all the way across for the spine and then the pelvis. I'll end up having to use a different sole for that. This one is okay. I mean, it does alright for like doing up the back straps or for making your steak pieces and so on. It's okay for that. This one here was pretty good for processing and skinning, of course. But yeah, it was alright for actually cutting up the pieces off the bone. But you gotta stay away from the bone with this because it was constantly dulling soon after I hit the bone with this. So it definitely didn't last very long. And this did it pretty well excel at actually skinning. So this was actually not that bad because it actually was pretty good, I thought, for actually skinning it because of the bigger belly for it. Now the interchangeability, I'm on the fence for that, from changing back and forth with all of these. What I'm really worried about is down in that slot, getting down in there, little stuff like this here, and like what you see there, getting down in there and possibly causing issues, clogging it up, contamination, that sorts of stuff. I'm really worried about. I know I'd have to worry about keeping these clean, but if I'm going back and forth with all of these, I'm not really going to be paying too much attention to these, but maybe you should. I mean, maybe I should whenever I'm doing this. But for this overall, I'm on the fence for using it constantly. So it's just one of those things I'm up in the air about. If I'm like with my wife, if we're processing a deer, both of us at the same time, one of us is probably going to be using this set while the other one is using a different set. So, but overall, it wouldn't make my list of things to use. So that's my honest thoughts on this, and you guys can judge it however you want with what I presented to you guys. And so I'm going to go ahead and move on to the video verse. Alright, so the video verse. We are continuing on in Hebrews. And we're going to be doing chapters 3, verses 7 through 11. And it says, therefore, as the Holy Spirit says, today, if you hear his voice, do not harden your hearts, as in the rebellion. On the day of testing in the wilderness, where your fathers tested me, tried me, and saw my works. For 40 years, therefore, I was provoked to anger with that generation, and said, they always go astray in their hearts, and they have not known my ways. So I swore in my anger, they will not enter my rest. And that is Hebrews chapter 3, verses 7 through 11. I'll see you guys in the next one.